I haven't recorded anything showing, well, Bonnie's over there, but I usually, when I do a vlog or something, I sit at the table and, you know, record that way. My ring camera's over there, so I'm going to capture recording myself on the ring camera. So I really looking forward to the day where I don't have to talk about targeting and gangstalking anymore. I really, really am. Because it's so annoying and bothersome. Like, I'm in the grocery store and I'm sitting there and I'm so traumatized by what happened to me with the DoorDash order that I had from Indiana, and that was like maybe 2 months ago, more or less, I think. And I don't want to bash Indiana. Every state is lovely in its own way, right? You know, every state, Wisconsin, Michigan, Oklahoma. I'm naming like more Midwest, central states, but like, you know, every state has its unique characteristics. But when you're targeted, it's like you can't even, everything feels like a threat. Everything just, you don't know who or what is trustworthy, and that's really frustrating. Like, I was at the grocery store, and I know this sounds like, oh, and someone could say, oh, you're reading so much more into it than what it is, and it's like, how do I explain it? Like, people will be strategically placed around you wearing certain shirts or certain clothing items, or they'll reference certain things. Like, for example, and I wanted to come on here and mention this because I think it's important, you know. I'm trying to keep a calm, cool, level-headed, you know, mentality going into it, because if you panic or anything, you can just fall apart. And I literally made my affirmation wall that says, do it scared. I put face your fears. Like, I was really proud of myself today that I went downstairs and I took the trash out. I took the recycling and trash out. I was really proud of myself. And that sounds like something so menial and easy, right? Oh, like people who live in apartment buildings, they take their trash out, you know, at the trash chute all the time. I used to do that when I lived in Virginia. If you don't know what that is, in every apartment building they have like a trash chute where they put, you know, you just go and there's like a trash receptacle thing, and then it goes down to the dumpster in the bottom floor. And so here it's a little different. There's no trash chute. I have to carry it, like, physically go downstairs. I don't go in the elevator. I get scared of going in elevators. That's another thing, which is really shitty, because when I was in Virginia and other apartment buildings, I've sensed weird, like, vapors and stuff in. I know all of the stuff I'm talking about is really reminiscent of trafficking. Gases, fumes, sedatives, being drugged, poison, all this stuff. And it's so hard to prove, right? It's so hard to prove. That's what makes this so frustrating. But yeah, I was like small little wins in my life that I'm really happy about, that like I did. I went downstairs. I mean, that's a big deal for me, because there was a moment when I did that, and I did go in the elevator the last time when I did it, and I don't know, I wasn't anxious. I just, one day I took the trash out, like the recycling out here in this building, and then I don't know if it's strategically timed or how it works with targeting and stuff, but like I went downstairs and I didn't prop the door open, but like you know, I left I sensed something weird, and trash areas always smell kind of funky because it's all trash, right? But like I sensed something weird, and I was like, something doesn't feel right. Like, I was just like, I don't feel good. And I felt like I don't know how to explain it. I felt like I was fading, like I was gonna faint. And I don't have any like neurological, I don't have narcolepsy, I don't have anything like where all of a sudden like I'm like, you know. Not to say I'm an athlete, I mean, but like I took care of myself. Like before all this stuff happened, I took care of myself. Like I used to be a runner, not like a track and field cross country runner, but I prided myself. Like I worked out. I remember 2 summers or 3 summers straight, I worked out every single day from like, I don't know why. I also did a lifeguard like summer. I was a summer camp counselor as like a lifeguard as well, a few years back, and I got really good exercise. Like, so like I kind of set or laid the foundation for my health, which is really good. And I guess that paid off later on, because I don't think if I did any of those things, I wouldn't have maybe survived literally this whole thing. But I did a lot of yoga, dance. I was very physically active. I was in great shape, toned. Like I was considering posting some videos like from like before, you know, like throwback vids, like 2018, 2019, when I was like in my prime, you know, teaching yoga. Everything was like normal back then. So anyways, there was a point I was making. So I don't have any like underlying not that I know of, like neurological issues, like neuromuscular or neurodegenerative. You know what don't know what I mean by that. I mean like, you know, ALS, Parkinson's, muscular dystrophy, Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, cerebral palsy, which are typically childhood things. More Parkinson's, ALS, those are like multiple sclerosis. MS, I mean, that's always a possibility. A lot of people, like, you can get numbness and tingling in your hands and feet and stuff with that. Diabetic neuropathy is also something very prevalent. But I haven't been diagnosed with diabetes, not that I know of. Unless there was a medical error in my medical testing and my HbA1c was off. I don't know. But anyways, ¿qué más? What was I gonna say? ¿Qué más is what else, or what more in Spanish? So there was a point I was making to this, but yeah, so that was a big deal for me when I took it sounds so stupid to be like, I took the trash. I was so proud of myself. I was like, I took the trash out. I was like, I took the trash back downstairs. It was so big for me because I had like, oh my God, I didn't show it in a vlog, but like it was bad. Like I had 2 bags or 3 bags in the corner. It's a really small kitchen over there. I actually bought flowers. That's another thing I was kind of reluctant to do. I get nervous to buy shit even in stores because like people lace that stuff, you know? Like people are mean. Like they will purposely like I realized, I was like, I have to be careful when I go to a store because someone could like put something, or a store clerk if they wanted, put like a numbing thing on wrappers, like plastic wrappers. I know that sounds crazy, but the reason why I say that, and that's my next point, is like, besides taking the trash thing, but like when I was in Indiana and I had mail delivered, I had a check given to me, not that much money, it was like $100 from like recompense, or like not really restitution, but like it was from like 3 years before, when I was working in Philadelphia as a server very briefly at a fine dining steakhouse. And I decided, I left just because I was like, it wasn't at the same caliber as like what I knew back home in Miami at the other fine dining steakhouse that I worked at, because they had a pretty high standard. Like their quality of service was like exemplary. And so the one that I worked at in Philadelphia, unfortunately, it did not meet those standards. But that was besides the point. It was, I didn't get tipped from a table. That's one thing if you're a server, by the way. Any server can relate to this. I got, it was like a $600, $700 table, and I got stiffed. Those were my 2 tables for the night. So I was supposed to make that night, I'll never forget it, I was supposed to make 20%, and I offered 20% service. I was supposed to make, if it was 700, it would be 140, and then the other one was 600, so that'd be 120. I got $1. Actually, they tipped $2 on 600 and 0 on 700. So I went to my manager and I was like, hey, I know I'm new here, but like, this was my night and this is what I made. And then one of my coworkers, she advocated for me and she was like, girl, we need to talk about this. So she was the one, she went and she like spoke on my behalf, because I don't like to bring up stuff to people. So I ended up getting a check for like letting the manager know, like, hey, like this and this happened to me. I hold no animosity towards these people, and I felt grateful that I got to make some money, you know. I wanted to make more money when I was there, but I didn't. If you're a server, you can understand. But anyways, that letter that I got in the mail to my address in the mailbox in Greenfield, Indiana, I touched it and a few things happened. Immediately after, I almost lost my breath. I couldn't breathe. Like, it was like I touched it and it was like I could not, and I was not nervous. I was just getting the mail and I had it in my hands. I opened the letter and then I literally could not breathe. And then my hands went like numb. It was bizarre. And I go, what did I do? Like, did I touch something? Am I allergic to something? You know, your first course of action is like, my first thought process is like, maybe I'm allergic, maybe, but that was just, it was very strange. And then I felt like I was gonna fade. Like, you know what, if you've ever experienced what they call in medicine syncope, syncope, basically that means fainting. That's the medical jargon for when you faint. So I was like fading, like I was like I was like, oh God, I was like, what's going on? So I tried to inhale and get breath and whatever. And I was like, this is crazy. And that same feeling happened when I was downstairs when I went to take the trash out here. And when you're targeted and you're trafficking and whatnot, people find creative ways to capture you. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, that's a thing. And then another thing that happened today, I went to, and people tell me, oh, be mindful where you order food from. Don't have people deliver it to you. Go get it yourself. And, I'm nervous to leave my dog home alone. And I know I need to be braver than that. But, like, it's a whole different world when you're like bullied by like savage adult people. Whole different world. And so just two things. I got mail today. I was on Instagram and I know this sounds really whatever, but I love to study world religions. I love cultures. I love just knowing to learn how things work. I think the more you know, the better. The more informed you are, and you try to remain objective, so you listen to everything. I think that just makes you a very dynamic, well-rounded individual. That's the kind of person I want to be next to at a party. The person who can be like, hey, I know a little bit about this. I know a little bit about a lot. And not saying that me, but like just that's for me specifically. I like that. That's the kind of person that I like to be around. A good conversationalist, someone and someone who doesn't interject bias into that. They just can espouse or share thoughts and opinions objectively. I think that's a really attractive quality in somebody. But anyways, I ordered a Bible. It's the page, it was free. It was on Instagram, and I was like, I want a Bible. I was like, I tried to read the Bible years ago. I got a little bit through Genesis. I don't know if it's Exodus after that, but I was in the Old Testament. I think I got to the part with Joseph, I think, or Abraham. I don't know, but like, I just always wanted to read it. I want to read the Torah, the Quran. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff that because I love to learn. I'm such a nerd. But like, anyways, so there's a few things. I got this like supplement for free for my dog, but it's a powder, so I'm kind of skeptical to give it to her. So I got that from an ad on Instagram, and then I don't know what this is. I'm assuming it's her bandana. I don't know. But after I retrieved the mail, I don't know if it was the flower wrappers, because I got some flowers. I got these flowers that, it wasn't Trader Joe's. They look so pretty like that, right? I was kind of wanting to trim down this part though, you know, because it's kind of like, you know, but I really, those are real flowers too. I love flowers, but mind you, I probably shouldn't be buying them. They're 3 for $15. But like, I'm very big on like making sure that your space feels safe, or like that you feel, you create a space of safety and warmth. And when I moved here, it was just kind of a last minute impromptu thing, you know, because I went from the Airbnb in Indiana to here, and it didn't really have, it was pretty bare bones, you know, like my mom, she got me a vase, you know, it was that vase. And the couch cover I got myself because I didn't want to ruin, this came with the building. But it's covered, that's my couch cover from Amazon, because I didn't want Bonnie to get her fur on it. And then pretty much that's kind of it, you know, like there's nothing else really. The bed, there was a mattress, yeah, I mean, I'm grateful to have a roof over my head. I will say that. I'm very big on gratitude, having an attitude of gratitude that fosters you know, good things in one's life. And when you try to focus on the good and you focus on what you have and you stop focusing on lack, you attract more of that into your life. So I am grateful to have a roof over my head. It's just the safety part is scary, because like I went to the mailroom and I got my packages, and I don't know if it's the flowers, because I unraveled the flowers, the wrapper, and I took the rubber bands off and I cut the stems, and I go, could it be something I'm allergic to on the flowers? Or is it the packages? Because immediately, like once I got here, my hands started to go numb. And I know recently, I don't know if it was already like that at a grocery store, or if someone came into the apartment and put something, but like I remember I did a vlog where like I touched the bottle cap of an orange juice bottle. I'm not gonna say the brand out of respect for the brand, because I realize my situation is very unique. You know, I can't generalize I can't be like, oh, if I have a bad experience at Pier 1 Imports, I'm not like, oh, every Pier 1 Imports is horrible. That's not the truth. You know, that wouldn't be fair of me. It wouldn't be smart. Like if something happened at Wendy's and I'd be like, oh, every Wendy's is horrible. No, that's not true. You know, I recognize that. I'm not gonna be that ignorant, but I did, like, my hands went numb and they were kind of tingly and burning a little bit. Kind of like if you, I don't know how to say, like if someone used an analgesic like lidocaine or Ambisol, like when you put that in your mouth, but like it was burning a little bit. And like I said before in another vlog, and I had proof of it because my hand was like blistered and it was red, literally like from here, like I know I'm making an L shape, but like from here, my pointer finger and my thumb was like completely red, and that was a few weeks ago, and that was scary because it was just really scary because I go, what was on my hand? What did I touch? What did, you know, your mind starts going, what is this? What's this about? Because that's what happens in targeting. People put shit on your food. They put stuff on your packages. They watch you to see the places that you frequent most often, and they will sabotage that. I guess that's the best way to call it. So, and then another thing that was frustrating is that like when you're targeted, people will strategically be placed in your path to like throw you off your path or make you like second guess yourself. Like there's two things that happened tonight, and today is the 19th, May 19th, 2026. So in case I post this later, but I went to a pizza parlor. Not going to say out of respect for them, because again, I'm not going to be like, oh, every pizza parlor in the joint of the thing is horrible. That's not true. It just may be this pizza parlor. But I went to the pizza parlor. One of the guys was picking up a pizza, and he's like, oh, I'm picking up pizza for Charlie. And I'm going to be honest. So, like, I know my shit is hacked into, excuse my language. A few months ago, when Charlie Kirk passed away, you can have your opinions on him, say what you want. I didn't know anything about him. You know, I didn't know diddly squat about him. And I'm a registered Democrat, like I'm, you know, but like I kind of, because of targeting and gangstalking, I've kind of become more, aware, or I wanted to, and that's because I don't mind sharing this, and I don't like to get too political, to be honest, just because politics is so touchy. You cannot like sit at a table, and I'm the kind of person, I'm very impressionable, so like when someone tells me, hey, you need to learn more about politics, you don't know the half of it, I'm like, oh God, I don't want to listen to this. Just everyone hold hands in a circle and sing Kumbaya, because I'm not going to make anyone happy, and I don't know that much about politics. But because of gang stalking and targeting, I kind of told myself I wanted to learn more, so I literally made a column before, I think it was this election. I made like columns. I didn't vote, by the way, in this election, because I was just going through so much shit, and I was living in Vermont at the time, and I did follow, I watched the inauguration and stuff, and you know, you can call me out on that, whatever, I don't give a shit, whatever. I listen to both sides, people, I'm not going to judge, you know, but because that's just how I am, you know. In graduate school with Walden University, like they taught us, be an informed consumer. So, you know, don't be so biased that you object to other viewpoints, because you could be missing out, or like there could be a missing piece, you know, to something. Anyways, there's a point I was making to this, but when he passed away, so like shortly after, on my YouTube feed, I kid you not, like, and this is what scares me, and you could say, oh, Ashley, you're reading too much into it. I've experienced some really scary stuff in the past 5 to 6 months. 6 years, but like it got progressively worse. And I learned of Charlie Kirk's passing from a guy I was talking to on Instagram. Like, it was like a casual connection, you know. It was supposed to be dating, but like he was like, oh, I was like, how's your day? And he's like, oh, this guy passed away. And I was like, what? I was like, I don't know who this guy is. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, that's crazy. But shortly after that, on my YouTube feed, I kid you not, I'm pretty sure someone put on my feed, you're next. And today, I went to go pick up a pizza, and these are the little things that trigger me, because, and I know maybe it's not that it's not unfounded, it is justified to be nervous and scared, but like, I don't know what can of worms I opened with this whole thing when I sought counsel, not legal counsel or anything like that. I mean, I tried to in Miami, but when I tried to get help, put it that way, with stalking and all this bullshit, I didn't get the help. Like, in my mind, in the perfect world, I would be left alone. I feel like a hamster, like on a wheel, like in a cage, if that makes sense. And I feel like I get observed and watched. And today I was just thinking, I go, the person that this all started with, he's living his life, you know. I got the short end of the stick. And I don't want pity. I just wanted safety. I wanted justice. I wanted fairness. I want to live a life where I can move and not be scared to move. I want to be able to touch packages or get my mail without feeling like it's going to be laced with some neurotoxin or, like pepper spray kind of thing, or, because who knows what could happen. But the guy picking up a pizza when I was in the store, he goes, "Oh, I'm picking up for Charlie." And then another time, I don't know why, someone mentioned the name Charlie again when someone was dropping off a food order to me, Uber Eats again. Like, he met me at my door at the apartment. And now I don't have like eyes in the back of my head, and I'm not going to say like someone's going to get a rifle and put a bullet through my skull or my jugular. I'm pretty good at sensing things, and that would be pretty catastrophic for some random person to be shot at in the middle of Chicago. You know what I mean? Like, that would be pretty wild. In broad daylight or at nighttime. I mean, even though, granted, I will be honest, like, Chicago's kind of notorious for that. I remember when I came to visit Chicago years ago, because my brother lives here, and when he first moved here, we were like, it was Christmas time, like X amount of years ago, and I'll never forget, and this was right State Street, and I don't know what the cross street is, but we were turning the corner, and literally we heard like a pop, and this was in River North. This was Gold Coast. This is like the premier fancy bougie area of Chicago, and that was years ago. Like, right, literally we turned the corner and then boom boom, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, this is crazy. But when I was scrolling through because I do feel like I have cyber bullies, and I don't know who these people are. I don't want to believe it's the government. I don't. A lot of targeted people sit there and they bash the government, and they're like, oh, it's the government's fault, and there's like, and in this stupid shit, and I'm just like, what good would, like, there's so many things, like, in the world going on, just for years and years, and what good would our government or any other what good would they get? You know what I mean? Like it's counterintuitive, because like, especially like if like budgeting wise, like it's not even smart to sit there and spend millions of dollars or thousands, whatever, on just to bully and psychologically sabotage people and drive around in cop cars and cause havoc and provoke people with loud noises, and it doesn't make sense. It's counterintuitive, you know what I mean? So like, I mean, there's a lot of speculation that could be the case, but I go, but what would they get out of that? You know what I mean? And I don't want to sit there and beat the drum of, oh, it's this and that, and then, I get it, maybe. I'm not in La La Land where I'm like, oh, it's I don't believe in that. I don't believe that that's, the case. I just think that would be stupid. There's so many things that need, so much more attention than just picking on some girl, but getting flowers or whatever. Like, it doesn't really, unless it's a spiritual thing, I don't know. I don't know. I just hear a helicopter. I don't know if it's the helicopter or plane. It really does baffle me, but like literally today, so like I go into the grocery store right when I get in, and a girl has her headphones on. Maybe she shouldn't realize it, but like the timing of it, it's too much. It couldn't have been a coincidence. It seemed the timing was too perfect. Like right when she went in front of me or crossed paths with me, she's like, oh, but it could kill you. or something like that. She said something along those lines, and I'm just like, and me, I've been experiencing this weird food thing, you know, and you can say, oh, maybe it's food sensitivities and allergies, and I've been sensing this weird food shit for like 2 or 3 months now, and I'm just like, you know, and I go, who did I piss off? What did I do? You know, I'm the kind of person, I'm very resourceful. I reached out to like a bunch of people when all this shit happened. Like I reached out to tech columnists at the Washington Post, the New York Times, not the New Yorker. It wasn't the New Yorker. There was 3. Wall Street Journal. That's what it was. It was WSJ. The Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and Washington Post. This was years ago. And I don't know, I was trying to figure out, like, okay, maybe if they understand. I was Googling stuff. I go, maybe they know how to fix stuff and whatnot. So, you know, I tried my best. I guess my best wasn't good enough, you know. And then, like, for instance, I went to another grocery store. Like, I was just perusing the grocery store aisles. I'm like, what do I want? What's safe to get? Because, and then there was a ambulance EMT people that came in to the building the same time that I was entering the grocery store, other grocery store at the corner. And something about it just felt very, I don't want to say staged. Does that sound wrong of me to say that? It just didn't feel organic. But I didn't see the person that they were putting in the back of the stretcher, or because they had a fire truck, and then they had an ambulance come, and I'm like, oh, maybe. And whenever I hear that, I feel bad for those things, because I'm just like, you never know if someone could really. I always do the sign of the cross, and I'm like, I don't know if someone could really be hurt, you know. And I take that seriously. Like, maybe the person really was hurt, and it was just a coincidence. But because I'm someone that's targeted or gang stalked or whatever, I read more into things. I will take full accountability and say I read more into things than what it is, you know. But in this case, it just, the lady, one of the EMT people were like right in front of me, and like, I'm just like, it was weird. So that was another weird instance. And then the thing with the lady at another grocery store, and she's like, oh, but it could kill you. And I'm just like, it's like, and then another time I went to another grocery store, more high-end grocery store, and they said to me, what did they say? No, that's it. A couple was behind me, and they were talking so loudly that I turned around, and they're like, yeah, she'll never feel safe. That's what the discussion, they were like within an earshot of me, and I'm just like, really? It's little things like that. So people will pick and choose parts of your life, and then they'll speak about it around you. It's a very strange phenomenon. Don't ask me why people do it. It's like just it's a big mind fuck. It's so strange. And half the battle is, like, if you can conquer your mind and just, like, put it to the side and, like, file it away and be like, oh, God bless you, I hope you heal. If you need to be that petty and, like, cause and perpetuate more trauma and anxiety in someone's life by being a stranger and standing behind someone on an escalator and feel proud of yourself because you wanted to psychologically undermine and sabotage and thwart them, then you do you, boo-boo. There's 24 hours in a day. You want to be an asshole? You want to be a jerk? You know, I choose to elevate myself. There is a quote I will say, no matter what your political affiliation is, there is a quote that has gotten me through a lot when this all started. A lot. And you can say what you will. Everyone will always have opinions about everything. But First Lady Michelle Obama, she said, when they go low, you go high. And in my life, and I'm sorry if I cry, there have been so many times when people have stooped really low. And I ask God, what do I do? Do I come with a solid comeback? Do I retort back? Like, what do you want me to do, God? Like, do you want me to just take it? Like, take the hits, take the abuse, take the, you know, or should I stand up for myself? What do you do? And so I'm reminded of those words. I saved it. I had it as my background for like years. When they go low, you go high. And It's the same thing, like right now, my background on my phone is you can do hard things. It just sucks because you feel alone, and then you feel discredited, you feel invalidated, you feel gaslit. And like even today, like explaining to a therapist about getting food, maybe possibly being roofied or drugged, that's a very real thing. Like women, like it's a real thing. There was literally a video where a woman, I'm not gonna say her name out of respect for her, but she's targeted. I don't know if she still is anymore, but she was going from hotel to hotel, very high-powered executive at a cosmetic company, and she was experiencing weird gases that would make her nauseous, feel faint, almost like suffocate, just feel ill and disoriented, similar to me. And then she would complain about it to police, and then they tried to put her inpatient and get her into a psychiatric facility, and her own family turned on her own sister. And so explaining that to anybody, to someone not going through it, and you tell that to a therapist, like I've said, I felt like I've never done drugs before, but I felt like I was roofied, Roofied, there's something called GHB, it's roofie-phenylenol, whatever the fuck it's called, excuse my language, and it makes you feel really tired and sleepy, and I just, I know my body. I'm super sensitive to like everything, I mean, I'll put it this way, if I'm sensitive to like grapes and like fruit, when I eat a banana, like I don't eat banana, but like when I eat that, I'm like, bleh, like I have a natural gag reflex. I know that sounds derogatory because bananas, anyways, it's a sensory texture thing, but I'm very sensitive to chemicals, smells, anything. So I'm genuinely confused. And I am scared because like it could just be empty threats, it could just be people baiting, like, oh, there's nothing that's actually going to happen. But like I've experienced really scary stuff. And I can't prove it because how am I going to prove a gas? How am I going to prove a vapor fume thing? Am I like a chemist? No. Am I an HVAC technician? No. I'm definitely not a terrorist. So I sit here and I go, why? I don't harm anybody. I'm not talking shit about people. I'm not manipulative. I don't manipulate. I speak the truth. I speak truth and I wear my heart on my sleeve and I try to be as open and candid as possible. But like, I don't know if it was on the package. I don't know if it was the